Hello, I'm voice and audition coach Jessica Neighbor, and I'm going to teach you how to protect your voice on Zoom. And in this series, in this particular video, I'm going over your vocal health best practices. So we're going to break down why you need to hydrate, why you need to rest and pace your voice, and finally recharge it all at the end of the day. So the first thing I want you to do is fill up a water bottle, and we're not talking a tiny one, guys. We're talking a huge one. This one, I believe, carries 64 ounces. So I just fill this up during my one day and I'm good to go. That's 8 cups of water that I'm drinking and sipping throughout my day in between my meetings so that I stay hydrated. Our voice needs to remain hydrated. If it gets dehydrated, it's going to really make us wear and tear on our voice. It's kind of like driving your car without enough oil in your engine. You really need it in order to lubricate your voice the right way. Another thing I want you to consider is a nice external microphone. I have this great one that I use for singing and recording. You may not need this. It is a Blue Yeti and it's wonderful. A lot of podcasters use this as well, but you can have any sort of external mic. You know, I have one on my old earphones here that works just as well, but it will make you clearer and you won't have to project. And if we're projecting and throwing our voice, then we're working harder than we need to. So also using some earbuds so that you hear better is going to help you a lot as well. The other thing I want to point to is that you want to have your laptop propped up. I have mine on some old books of mine, but you want to have it at a nice eye level, right? So that we are looking head on with the people we're talking to. There's nothing less flattering than looking up our nostrils or looking down at our hairline, right? So head on is not only great for, just the visuals, but also for your speaking, you can make sure to keep checking in with your alignment, right? So those are some great vocal health, tried and true things. Now, another thing about how to pace your voice is I want you to keep in mind that if you have quite a few meetings lined up one day, you want to rest your voice in between those meetings. Ideally, not talking for a little while. And also, by the end of the day, if you're tapped out, you need to rest and recharge that voice. I once was interviewing a speech pathologist at a hospital who said we want to think about our voices like a 24-hour battery, and it loses its charge every day. That's why we have to go and sleep and replenish ourselves. So pace your meetings, maybe put your most important ones in that morning and then really start to space them out so that you can pace what you need to do in between those meetings. All right. Recharge. A few things that you can do at night to replenish as well as just good old rest. That's the number one key thing is to drink some really wonderful tea. Ideally, any sort of herbal tea, mint, honey. Those are really wonderful healing things. There's throat coat that's also nice. That's got lots of different ingredients in it just for our throats. And then a steamy shower is also a wonderful way to kind of rehydrate our voice. At the end of the day, if you've been talking so much that your throat and your neck feels like it needs another massage, you can use my warm up as the same as the cool down and just continue to do a few stretches. We'll just start to hold tension in our meetings. And as we're thinking about all the other things we're trying to say, we've suddenly held on to all this tension. So that's a really important thing for you to release. Finally, a few of the red flags to notice if you are talking too much and overusing your voice is you'll start to feel like your voice is quite gravelly all the time. If it starts to get breathy and there's leakage where you're talking, but it feels like there's constantly breath leaking out with your voice. If you also have breaks in your voice, and definitely if you're flat out losing your voice, those are all red flag signs that you've started to overuse your voice. And you may want to start to come up with some creative ways to do less verbal meetings. whatever that's going to look like for you. You might also want to check in with a medical professional, an ear, nose, throat specialist, or a speech pathologist to maybe have your own voice checked out. But remember, this whole series is to avoid any permanent vocal damage. We don't want you to have to go down that road. So remembering these key things that I went over in this video will really help you a lot. I have also included in the link below my entire vocal health checklist. That's yours, and you should always refer to it just to kind of go through that checklist to make sure everything's feeling good. If you want to take more training with me, I'm welcoming you to join me in my full training course online that gives you all kinds of warm-ups, PDFs, MP3s. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's risk-free, and you can join me for that in the link below as well. All right, guys. Well, have fun zooming away, protect your vocal instrument, and it will serve you well. Thanks, guys. Take care.